What's up, guys? It's me again, Christian Rodriguez, and today I'm gonna make it a bit of a different video. But I noticed the news. So if you guys don't watch boxing, pay attention to boxing. Anthony Joshua, he just fought Jake Paul last week, so he was just in a car accident in Nigeria. Um, and it was him, and I think it was two of his closest friends who are also like they were trainers and they had a very big social media following. They appeared to be successful. I don't remember their names. I just briefed to it, but yeah, I started looking through one of their Instagram pages, right? And this guy had a lot of followers. He was a very good looking guy. He was jacked. He was high status. He had everything. He might have been what, like in his 30s. I'm thinking, I estimate he was in his 30s. But the point is that um life is not guaranteed, right? And the reason why I say that is because there's some days that I wake up and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do work, or I'm like frustrated that I haven't reached my goals yet, or I haven't reached where I want to go yet. And like I'm frustrated, pissed. I'm like, God damn it, like what the hell? What's going on? But like I'm not thinking of the short. I'm thinking in like the short term. I'm not thinking like, oh, like I should think bigger. I should think, okay, like I should be happy that I'm able to wake up and go after my goals, right? That's like a different like way to rephrase it. Like I should be more grateful that I can wake up today and I can still speak with my parents, or I can speak with my family, right? Or I can still go to the gym because I'm healthy enough to do so, right? There's some people who probably can't even go to the gym, right? They probably can't even wipe their own ass because they got very old, or they got some sort of disease that they didn't expect to get, right? So I say that because I think people sometimes forget that we're not immortal, right? We're not we're not gonna our time is limited, right? And that's the thing that I've learned from studying successful people, like, is that they're very cheap. They're not cheap with money, they're cheap with time. And that's very good. You should be cheap with time, right? Because time is limited. Time, you could always make more money, but time is not, you can't make more of it, right? You get what you have, right? And that's the thing. I talk about this because I know my previous video I talked about sports, so I don't want to get too far into it. But I mentioned how people like consume their lives with sports, and this isn't just sports. This could be sports, politics, like petty little battles, maybe arguing on YouTube, arguing in the YouTube comments, or arguing in on Instagram. Like typing, arguing with people on Instagram about what's going on in the Middle East or something, right? And it's such a waste of time, right? Like you're wasting, if you had a year to live, right? If you had like a clock, if it showed on your smartphone like the time you had left, right, to live, would you be, and it said a year, would you be wasting it on scrolling, or commenting on Instagram about how shitty someone is, or how much you disagree with something, or it's not even, or just insulting someone, right? Like you probably wouldn't. You probably would focus on what you have to do. And this is actually a Stoic philosophy from Marcus Aurelius. I don't remember the quote, but basically he talked about how most people live as if they're going to live forever. They live like if they're immortal, right? So people spend their time like as if they're going to live forever. And yes, I know this is a weird subject. It's not the most comfortable subject to talk about or to listen to, because there's truth behind it, right? And behind this truth, everyone knows I'm right by this truth that I'm talking about. But yeah, we don't live forever, right? So why waste, like why waste time on senseless shit that's probably not going to matter 5 years from now, right? Like if you've read the laws of human nature, right? He talks about it, Robert Greene. He talks about how we're not going to live forever, right? And to use it, like embrace the fact that we're not going to live forever, because then we can go after our purpose. We don't have to fear. This also like kind of adds to the video I just made before this, and that's me talking about fear, right? And yeah, you just have to be able to just really like watch out for that. Don't I don't think you should let yourself. I don't think you should stop yourself if you really want to go for something, right? And I think knowing that we don't live forever is probably a good way to think about it, because when you know you're not going to live forever, you're like, the hell am I? What do I have to worry about, right? What do I have to worry about? If I get it, if I go for it and it works, then it changes my life. If not, then I start over again. I do something else, right? Worst case scenario. And on top of that, when you think of, okay, my time is limited. Now that your time is limited, now you're going to be able to think, okay, who can I keep around in my life? Who are the wrong people in my life? You're As I mentioned before, you're not going to be able to tolerate shit people either. You're going to have very low tolerance for it, because you're going to be like, life is too short to be dealing with shit people. So I'm not going to feel bad about it, because it's my life, or I waste time around the wrong people. So you just think of it that way. Like, this goes in this basically goes into all aspects of life. Just don't let fear stop you, but also don't let shit people and their opinions stop you. Uh, don't waste energy on senseless garbage, right? And it's okay to entertain yourself every once in a while, but you don't need to waste your energy, like commenting on someone's Instagram, telling them how terrible they are or something, right? Or going to like strangers on social media and arguing with them about political things, right? It's just a waste of time. And remember, your time is limited, and I actually think it's a gift. It's a gift that our time is limited in a way, we because we can reframe it. We can use it as a motivator to achieve our goals. Like, okay, our time is limited, so let me why screw my feelings. I gotta do what I have to do right now, this second, right, to get me closer to my goals, because I don't have time to wait, right? Even if you're freaking 15 years old, your time is not guaranteed, right? When you're young, the younger you are, the more you think, oh, you're naive. You think, oh, time is I have so much. I have all the time in the world. Oh, I'm 10. I'm 15. I'm 20. I'm 22. I'm 25. It's like, you think you have all the time in the world. You don't, right? Like, I'm 28, and I'm already starting to feel it. Like, I'm like, okay, like I've had a family member who was like in his late 30s. He was like a distant family member. He was like a third cousin, but he like passed away, and I was in shock, because I remember seeing him at parties, at Christmas parties, family gatherings, and we were talking about fitness together, right? We were talking about fitness, and he was freaking. He was always active on social media. Like, it was like he was like one of those guys. He was very he was always on a motorcycle. He was always like doing cool shit, and he was at the gym, and he ended up drowning trying to save his daughter. And yeah, like, no one could have predicted that. It shocked everyone, right? And he was still young. He was like 38. So that's not old. That's very young. So, and he had a family with him too. So he ended up leaving the family behind. But the point is, it struck me in the head. It struck me in the face. I was like in shock. Like, I wasn't close with him. Like, I would see him, but I wasn't like that close with him. But it was like still like sad, because it was just like, oh shoot, like, doesn't matter how healthy you are, doesn't matter how in shape you are, doesn't even matter how much money you have, right? Because it could get taken away from you. I remember 4 years ago, right? I was at a corporate job. I was working, a job I fucking hated, right? I was working for a mortgage lending company. I was whatever I was doing. I don't know. There was a lot of free time. I was like on my phone. I was also like, I had my phone, I had my headphones on, and I was watching YouTube while like doing work or whatever the hell I was doing, right, at the time. And I remember I would follow this creator, right? This creator was like in Miami. He appeared to be successful in business. His name is, you guys might be familiar with him. His name is Ben Bader, or was Ben Bader. And yeah, I remember watching his stuff, and I remember I was like, this guy has good stuff. It's good content. And um, yeah, I remember I was like, man, I wish I could trade my life with him. I really wish I could trade my life with him because he looks like he's having an amazing life living in Miami, being an entrepreneur. He's young, he's dating hot women, stuff like that. And then I am like a few months back, I found out like he passed away, and I was like in shock. And he's actually like in his mid 20s. He was in his mid 20s. He was very young. He wasn't even in his late 20s. I think he was in his mid to early 20s, which was insane. And that also like opened me up, and I was just like, okay, like this is more than, like, it's not like that's just an example. Like, it doesn't matter how successful you are. It doesn't matter if you have a billion followers on social media. It doesn't matter if you're Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk type of money. It doesn't matter if you're jacked like Arnold, right? It doesn't matter what you are. You could be the healthiest man. Life is not guaranteed, and you have to. I say it not to scare you, right? I say it to remind you, right? One, so you could like feel grateful, right, that you're able to wake up, right? Because someone in their deathbed right now would probably trade places with you. Just think about it. Someone who's maybe has terminal cancer or a terminal disease would 100% trade places with you in a heartbeat, because that means that gives them more time. Even if they end up broke, doesn't matter. They would trade places with you, right? Felix Dennis, he was a multimillionaire. I read his book, How to Get Rich. He's dead. He was a multimillionaire, but he's not alive anymore. And that's the point, right? And I'm not being one of these guys that's telling you don't go after money. Money's not everything. No, money's very fucking important. So don't misconstrue what I say and think that I'm talking that money's not important. Money's extremely important, and I think you should go after it. But also, like, in the present, be present. Also, don't think that you could just sit down and wait and let life just go by. You're like, oh, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll do it next year. I'll do it next season, when I'll do it after football season ends. Like, there's like, you keep postponing it, and then you just never do it. So it's better just to do it, right? And I've talked about how there's never the right time in the previous video, and this is another example of why it's never the right time. There's never going to be the best time to start. The best time to start is now. No, actually, now is the second best time. The best time to start probably was yesterday. That's the saying. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, this caught my attention, so I thought I should talk about it. I'm gonna keep creating more content. Subscribe and take care.